social media couldn't be bigger, and it's growing all the time. But is it right for the meetings industry? And what can people learn about social media at IMEX this year? Miguel, you're the Knowledge and Social Media Manager here at IMEX this year. Let's talk about social media and what's happening at the show with regard to that particular application.
Well, we're doing a lot to do with social media at the show. We really feel that it can support the activity that's going on at the show, but also explain to people that are not at the show what's happening here, what are we doing, and why IMEX is important. We have various features. Most of them focus on Twitter. We find Twitter is that one social media that's about what's happening right now. And it's also because it's on mobile, it's people can walk around the show floor, write a quick tweet, go on to the next appointment. Exhibitors in between appointments can just do a little update. And then we have lots of ways of visualizing this. So we have some Twitter screens around the show floor. We have 8 in total. And they flip between the programming of the education and also showing the tweets that are going on. So if somebody writes an interesting tweet, somebody might be having a coffee, sees the tweet and goes, oh, interesting, there's something happening at this stand, let's go there. So that works quite well. And then we're doing this great thing with London and Partners, which is IMEX Live, which is another way of visualizing all this, which is one page that grabs all the social media around the show, again through Twitter mostly, but also some YouTube feeds like this one. So hopefully maybe you've come to this feed through that. But also has a live webcam of the show that shows everybody who's at home what IMEX is all about, and hopefully tells people, hey, this is a good show, this is interesting, there's a lot of stuff happening here, I should make sure I'm there, get on a plane, come over, or maybe book for next year.
Well, first of all, let's get everybody involved in Twitter. So what's the hashtag this year?
The hashtag is just #IMEX13 altogether, that's it.
So basically, any tweeting going on, hashtag it with IMEX13, and they'll be on the stream, and everybody will be able to follow them and pick up on what's going on.
Absolutely, and they might be on a screen here at the show, they'll be on IMEX Live, and essentially they'll be joining a conversation. Last year we had 2,200 people joining the conversation over IMEX America, so there's a lot of people contributing to it, but I hope that everybody can get a bit out of it.
I mean, fantastic, let's hope we can top that this year. Moving on to the industry as a whole, there is a bit of a knowledge gap with social media. I mean, why do you think it's important? I mean, do you think it's just kind of there floating around, or, a bit of a distraction? Or do you actually think it can, improve, the meeting space?
I think it can definitely improve the meeting space. I think a lot of people are still understanding how social media works and how they can bring it into their work. Especially from a commercial point of view, and when people want to raise awareness of their business, their new exhibition center, an event that they're doing, that can really help through social media. But it has its limitations, as you say, and some people can really see it as a distraction. So I think it should be about the design around social media. We understand that when people are here, they might want to talk about why they're here. So we make it very easy for someone to use social media to tell their friends, their colleagues, their coworkers, or their boss, or even their potential clients why they're here and why they're joining this conversation. When it comes to in a meeting, yes, some people are on their own personal Facebook page writing comments about things and not actually participating. So it can definitely be a distraction. But I think more and more companies and organizations are embracing using social media in that. And I think the future is around social media. The most exciting technology developments and almost like socializing. Sometimes it's not about technology. Sometimes it's about the social element. We look at the newer generations and we say, oh, they're just, on Twitter all the time and they're not actually paying attention in class. Actually, if they're participating in class or in a conference or wherever they are through Twitter, then you can actually really grab their attention and make it very interesting for them. So I think baby steps at the moment, but we're getting to a point where people are more comfortable with the technology, it's becoming more invisible, and at that point we really get the full experience from it.
And I guess the key to organisers really when they're looking to decide what to do with social media is not to do it gratuitously, but think about the objectives they got for their particular meeting or event, and then look how social media can facilitate that better. I guess
Absolutely.
That's the clue.
Yeah.
Now, you've been around the show, it's early days yet really, but which exhibitors have impressed you most with their use of social media? We've talked about London Partners already. Mm-hmm. Who else?
Well, Mexico have some really high profile. For example, they have a Minister of Tourism here for the Politicians Forum, and that minister uses Twitter all the time. They have something like 150,000 followers. Wow. So when the minister tweets that they're at IMEX, lots of people in Mexico that are related or not to the meetings industry notice that. So that's big. And Mexico, they sponsor our social team, and they're very aware of the power of social media. So they're one of the ones that impress me. A lot of the exhibitors are more and more engaged. Obviously, the technology exhibitors, a lot of them are doing things on social media. But Seoul, for example, and Korea, they run several competitions around social media. So if you use a particular hashtag or if you send a picture to a particular user, then you get prizes. So it's a really good way of engaging and really having other people promote you via social media, which is really what it's all about.
Yeah, that classic content sharing thing. Miguel, that's brilliant. Thanks for talking to me.
Thank you very much, Ian.